Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health, and coaching related paradigm. We try to do that on a continual basis. We try to do that as often as we can. My schedule is ever changing, so sometimes that's multiple times per week, other times that's several days in a row. But I try and be here as often as I can for your benefit. We've got nearly 850 audios available for your listening pleasure, and we continue to add to that. Hope to have 1,000 by the time we hit the fall sometime. And we encourage you to like, subscribe, comment below if there's an audio you'd like to hear. Would love to make that for you. Just put it in the comment. We'll make it happen. And if you're looking for coaching about how to break unhealthy or unsafe relationship dynamics, which is probably one of the top three things that I coach people on throughout the moment, the day, and all of that, would love to be of service to you in that way. You can reach out through Twitter at PO Perception. You can reach out online here on YouTube at the About Me section. My website is there and all other ability to contact, so that can be helpful. So how do you know if you're dealing with an unsafe person? There's 5 things I want to run through here that you may be dealing with someone that has an emotional, mental, or just blockage towards being in a healthy space. The first is they lie and they show no remorse. So people that have psychopathic, sociopathic, narcissistic tendency all have often a compulsion towards lying, or at least an indifference towards the effect of lies. So if you catch someone in a lie, no matter how big, no matter how small, and they don't seem to care about its effect on you, chances are you're dealing with an unsafe person. Now, here's the problem with that. Every person who is a compulsive or regular liar has rationalizations for the lies they tell. So they may be able to spin a story that makes sense and may be able to gaslight you into believing that you not believing their lie or you not dealing with their lie is your fault. But the problem with that is, and it leads into the second of our issues here, which is no flaws. They don't show flaws, they don't show weakness, and they struggle with any time anyone calls them out on their weaknesses. At the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily mean this person doesn't have any flaws, but their inability to self-reflect and show a certain level of commitment, connectivity, and value ultimately leads to challenges as we begin to go forward as it relates to kind of balancing things out in that way. Doesn't mean that they don't know they have flaws. They just aren't going to admit to them because in some way they think they lose power or perception or strength or the image that they're trying to cultivate. The next is kind of like unto it. They don't show empathy for their effect on you or their effect on others. So a good way to tell if a person has instability or control issues is watch over a predetermined length of time, let's say a month to 3 months, depending, how they treat other people and how they speak about other people, how a person treats other people, something as simple as somebody walking by them in the mall, or a waiter or waitress, or a person who is serving them at a checkout line, or even people in a store who may be having a tough day and need to go ahead of them. All of these are indications of who they really are. It's very easy because in reality, every social interaction, at least to some degree, has the potential for acting to create image. But when a person believes that they're justified and or they don't really care about the interaction they're having and they don't think it affects their image with you, they'll show and shine through themselves. The next is they gaslight or shame you for any time you question them. This is a huge issue, and almost it's a setup because anytime you question them, they begin to make you feel ashamed for having questions about their integrity, about their intentions, about the way in which they interact with others, about anything. And so there are things that can be potentially used to your advantage, because now when they're trying to shame you, they're also trying to see what your control pattern is. In other words, if you feel that you've wronged somebody, do you back down? If you feel you've wronged somebody, do you emotionally shut down? Do you defend yourself? What is your reactive pattern? So that so that they as a person can, in fact, I thought my audio kicked out there, but so that they as a person can, in fact, kind of interact with your reactive pattern in a way that ultimately leads to them still having leverage over you. The last thing in this particular audio is demand. They demand loyalty, they demand love, they demand obedience, they make demands of how you spend your time, how you dress, how you interact with others, or anytime you get demands, ultimatums, or any sort of either or black and white behavioral requirement, this is a sign of a person who's trying to gain control and may not be in a healthy space. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.